Good evening. Good evening. I'm Debbie Diaz, and I am going to be discussing the reviews that I have on some vehicles that I have been leasing lately. I just, it's just been what have been projects I've been working on lately have just been a lot easier for me to lease cars instead of like I just don't want to get into like outrageous car payments right now because I mean with everything going on with tariffs and stuff like that and like working on my credit isn't that great. I'm trying to save some bucks as much as I can. So I've been able to utilize like leasing cars and I'm not using I mean I've tried a bunch of different platforms too, but I went with I use right now. I'm using Enterprise and National, and I bounce around between the different ones. But I've had some really awesome cars that I have been. I keep for about a month each one, and my experience with them has, from a girl's perspective, I would say, is very something to look forward to taking advantage of if you are in the market for a car. So right now, I have the Mercedes Benz CLA 250. Okay, so that car right now, let me tell you the lowdown on this. It's 2025. So it's 2025. Wait, it's 2026. Yeah, CLA 250. Oops, I put 2035. It's not out yet, Debbie. Okay, so this car, it retails for about, I have the AMG for about 60 to 80,000, somewhere around there, right? So 2025, and it can go down. I mean, it can go obviously down for used ones, but I have a brand new one, and it's it's only got like a few miles on it and stuff. Noting that it has a few miles on it, I mean, the car's badass, right? The car is, it's sexy. It's a sexy car. It's black. It's got this is it basically. So it's got all the bells and whistles on it. It has a feature on it that you can like it's like I call it massaging the chair, massaging your seat, but you could it's called seat kinetics, and you sit there like if you're having a long drive or long road trip or something like that. You set the timer on it, three different timers for it to not massage your body, but kind of adjust your seat so that you don't get stiffness in your back and stuff like that while you're driving, which I love that feature. Like, so while you're driving, if you turn it on, the seats will go like, they'll move to accordingly to how you're sitting in your posture. And another feature of that is the inside lights. It has really cool trim on it on the interior. And once again, this is my view and my perspective on from a female's perspective on these cars. So the interior lights on it make it look more, a little snazzy. It's very Mercedes, type of look, and it has different an option where you can have different colors on it. You can choose different trim on it, and let me see if I got a picture of it on here. I do have a video right there. So you can see I have the pink lights on it right now, and then I changed the colors. I think there's like 12 different options that you can change the colors on it, and that's the trim that goes around the front of the air conditioning vents, around the dash, and on the doors, and down by your feet too. So it does have the different lights throughout the car. So that's a really cool option that I like. The other option too, I'm a car fanatic. I like the bells and whistles of things fast. I like the need for speed. It has different options in here for. That's what I want to talk about right there. We'll get to that. But it has the different options in here for your different speeds. I don't know what video I'm showing you now, but you know how you have, if you have a like an AMG engine, you can go in sport mode and you can go to like classic, eco mode, classic mode, sport mode. Well, this car has another option that is beyond sport mode, and it says, I think it's the Intimidator. Wait, let me see if I'm here. It's called Underestimated or something like that, or Intimidated, I think. I started to have it videoed. So that's the sport mode. But it has a touch screen on it too. So I'm sorry, my camera is all like messed up too because I had epoxy on it. I'm doing my floors in epoxy right now, and I got it on my phone. It's like saw foggy. So anyway, so it has the feature on it for sport mode, and the next one above that is like Intimidated or whatever it's called. And I don't really notice a difference in the speed of the engine when I switch it to that mode. But the features on the steering wheel of the Benz of the CLA 250 have touchscreen on them, so it's kind of like using your phone. You slide your finger up and down. It took me a minute to like adjust to that, to figure that out. Like, why is this doing this? I mean, how come I can't get this feature on here? Or how come it's... But, and the other thing about it that I love is the giant sunroof. It has a huge sunroof. I'm a sunroof chick. It's just a pretty, sexy car. But if you noticed in that video, the check engine light was on, right? So you tell me in a 2025, and I've been driving it, you know, not very far, nothing, not crazy, not been drag racing or nothing like that. The check engine light comes on. I mean, that kind of, if I were to buy that car, that would kind of give me like a huge red flag right off the bat. You know, like why am I already getting check engine lights? But a lot of cars can be more sensitive than others. Well, this Benz also told me that it needed me to put some oil in it. Now, keep in mind, I'm not going to touch the engine of the car because I'm leasing these out, and that's not my responsibility, and I don't want to be responsible for, you know, anything going bad with that, so I'm going to take it back to them. But why would it need me to fill oil in it? Like, I mean, is it like low on oil because it's leaking? You know, like why? Like, that was like a red flag to me why that came up. And then it also said the air pressure in the right passenger side tire, you know, keeps going loose too, which I understand tire issues happen a lot, you know, but it just, I don't know, I'm just thinking in my head, brand new car, like why is it having all these issues? And then check engine light has gone off since I put air in the tires, but the oil thing is still concerning, which the car goes back in a couple days anyway. So those were the couple issues. The other thing I noticed with that car, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably rate that car right now at, I would say an 8. It would definitely be an 8. It's up there. But it has this, I don't know if it's a feature that I haven't messed around with it yet, but on that car, if you are having the air conditioning on and you go to like Burger King to go through the drive-thru, right? And you have your foot on the brake. Well, while your foot's on the brake and as you're going through the drive-thru, the air conditioning, it turns off, you know, like it doesn't come on like full anymore. It just turns into like air blowing. Hey, monkey.
Can we go to the store later?
Huh?
Can we go to the store later?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you need? Okay. That was my son. But my varsity playing son, football. So, yeah, the air conditioning goes off on it, and it's just like, it's like hot air blowing. And in Florida, you know, we need that. But I don't know if it's part of the eco part of it, like if that's a feature that you could turn on or turn off on that. So I'm not really sure if I'm just missing, you know, because I know like in some of the cars you could turn off the eco and the driver assistance and all that stuff, and but I haven't messed around with it. The buttons are pretty basic on it. Everything's touchscreen and it has a nice long screen on it. The sound system in it is badass. I will say that it has a really badass sound system. If you like the boom boom boom, I mean, it literally, like the car, like, I pumped it up to like a good song of mine, and the speakers were like bang bang bang, you know. So it was really good acoustics in there, but and it jerks. It kind of, okay, it kind of shifts. The engine kind of shifts a little bit when you. I went over a speed bump and I went really really slow because it was in a parking lot, and I stopped kind of at the top of the speed bump, and the car shifted back like it was a standard, and I thought that was kind of weird. It's like I wasn't even in manual mode. I was in automatic mode, and the car like shifted back like it was, looking for me to shift up. So that was something that was definitely different than, I know. I was like, why is it doing that? Like, I never had a car do something like that. I mean, it literally shifted back like it was in neutral, and it wasn't. So it has a few jerky moments when you first start it. It feels like it's one of those cars that needs to be like warmed up for a minute, because when I start it and the engine is super super quiet, like super quiet. So when you start it, the engine is like, you don't even know it's on. So at first I was like, is the engine on? Is the battery dead? I couldn't even figure it out. And so that's how quiet it is. So maybe it's just a part of the new engines that are like really quiet, but it's a V8 for sure. And it shifts weird. It just shifts weird. Um, it just makes me feel like in the future that car would have engine problems or something. I mean, I know that Benzes aren't really like, some of them are known to have some mechanical issues. After like 3 years, they depreciate their value, blah, blah, blah. Everything depreciates as soon as you drive it off the lot. So the car that I had before that was a Honda, what? Genesis G70. That car, badass too. Badass. And out of scale from 1 to 10, I would say that one was I give that one a 6 on that one. Sexy looking car, everything like that. It has a lot, the bells and whistles. It was a black car. It was, let me show you if you're not sure what it looks like. The G70. It's kind of like a coupe though. Genesis. It's a luxury car. And let me see here. It retails for about 36 to 40,000 depending on the package deal. Brand new. Okay, why is it not doing that? Okay. My screen is so dirty. That's like, picture doesn't do it justice. Let me give you a better picture. Yeah, this one. So, that's better. So I had that one, and same thing with the Benz. It has super fast engine. It has a sunroof in it. It has, everything luxury about it. But that car has this tiny interior. The Benz, the CLA 250 has a spacious sedan, interior. I have 6'5" tall kids, boys, and they fit in there. Their knees aren't right up to the seats. So in the G70, you are like knee. I mean, it is tight in there. It's like a coupe almost. It's basically like a coupe. And then the driver assistance program in that car is ridiculous. So I would not buy that car for that reason, because it can cause new drivers that aren't experienced to even get in an accident. I have a fairly new driver, and he said the same thing. There's this option on that car where you can set it to have it assist you, driving staying in your lane and stuff, right? And you can take your hands off the steering wheel and stuff like that. Well, if you have that feature on, it literally, like, it's you against the machine. It's you against the driver, that part of the driver assistance program, because it will tug like a motherfucker on you, and it will literally tug you so hard in your lane that it could cause you to jerk your steering wheel and cause an accident. I mean, there's been a few times where it's jerked me so hard on there that, like, I was like fighting it to stay in like the section of the lane that I wanted to stay in, and it wanted to hug the lane line a little bit, and I was like, no, I like to drive in the middle. So it was like you played tug of war with it to a point where you're fighting with the car on just trying to stay in the way you want to drive the lane, and it can cause accidents. It really can. And it has like these sensors on it that go off ridiculously loud, and it startles you too. If there's a car even near you and you put your turn signal on, it just like beep beep beep. It's like, I know these are things you could probably turn off, but I have tried to turn off that feature for the driver lane assistance thing, and I turned it off, and it turns itself back on. Like, it would turn itself back on and then still try to control the car. So I don't know, that feature of the car, if I, these are things I wouldn't have known that if I didn't lease these or experience them, because it's kind of like things you find out after you've signed paperwork, and the damage is already done. I'm buying it. So, but I have those two cars for now, and then I have a bunch of other GMC pickup truck I'm going to talk about, and then I've got Camry, did one of those, and then also the Chrysler 300, the Sports Edition, and we also have, what else are the other ones? The Dodge Charger, the Daytona, and the Malibu, Chevy Malibu, and what else did I have? There's a red one, the souped up Camry, the red one, and a few other ones. But that is basically the two that I want to talk about today was the CLA 250 and the Hyundai Genesis G70. So those, like I said, they're both sexy, sleek looking cars, but they're just, at the end of the day, if I had to pick one or the other, obviously I'd go with the Benz. But the Genesis has come a long way, and their cars do have the whole like Bentley look-alike type of thing, and it is an eye catcher. But if you really want to be flashy and stand out with the crowd, the Benz stands out way more than the Genesis. It's kind of like people notice the Genesis, but they don't really know what it is. But they, it does catch their attention. But I roll up in the Benz, and people are like, whoa, like, whose Benz is that? Whose Benz is that? So if you like the status thing, if you like the attention of like rolling up, which I do, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. And so the Benz definitely has that feature where it catches people's attention. So if you like to be hidden on the road and you don't want people to draw any attention to you, then I wouldn't get the Benz. But not to say there's anything wrong with the oil thing or anything like that. I'm sure it's minor, but I did go to this gas station because I looked it up, what kind of oil it needed, because it kept reminding me. And it says this too, if you left your phone in the, it talks to you. It's like, hey bitch, when you shut the car off and open the door, it'll be like, hey bitch, don't forget your phone, you left it behind. I'm like, oh, thank you. She doesn't say bitch, but so. So it does talk to you and remind you to take your phone, and it reminds you not to leave behind any animals or children in the back seat and stuff. So it does warn you a lot of precautionary things, to help you so that you don't, leave a kid in the car. And so those are the sums of it, and I will come back with some photos and some updates. I took some video of it as well, so you can see how it looks like on the road, and it is a fast car. It is super fast. So I will speak to y'all later. I'm Debbie Diaz, and check out thevaginas.com and spell with the Z, and subscribe to the show. I really appreciate it, and that's it. Have a great night.